Log on to drgnews.com. Now, with the pregame, here's Brian Oakland.
Oh, thank you very much, and a very good Tuesday evening, everybody. A night of high school basketball coming your way. Our first high school basketball contest here in the winter sports season on KGFX and drgnews.com. And as we were doing in the fall sports season, yes, we do have our live stream up and running. Subscribe to the KGFX 1060 YouTube channel, and you'll subscribe to the KGFX 1060 YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see this game as well as hear it as we give it to you on KGFX and drgnews.com. Brian Oakland with a play-by-play tonight, along with Jeff Duncan back in studio. Will keep us up and running. Our coverage of high school girls basketball. By the way, as we come to you from Parkview Gym in Fort Pierre, bearing the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes in their second game of the season. They started off with a Saturday night loss to White River to open the season. They take on the Lyman Lady Raiders, who are 1-1. Lyman started the season at home on Friday night, a 6-point loss to Chamberlain, pretty good ball game, and then they went up to Gettysburg and defeated Potter County quite handily, 57-36. So they are 1-1 in our coverage of Stanley County and Lyman on KGFX tonight, made possible by McDonald's and First Dakota National Bank, by Avera St. Mary's Hospital, and the Stanley County Booster Club. Today's game also brought to you in part by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Fisher Rounds and Associates, Insurance and Real Estate, Bottom Line Welding of Fort Pierre, and Bank West. And tonight's game also brought to you from our friends from Lyman County, including Kennebec Telephone, BJ's Food Center, Halverson Oil, and Dakota Prairie Bank, by Thrivent Financial in Chamberlain, and by Darren Boyle Sales in Fort Pierre. And tonight's game is also sponsored in part within the broadcast by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the Boyd Consemius Agency, Teton River Traders Gun Shop, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, by Lynn's Dakota Mart, CHS Midwest Cooperatives, Bauman Lumber, and Wagner Auto in Pierre. Reminding you, as always, to stay up to date with the scores of tonight's game as we give you the Wagner Auto scoreboard from Wagner Auto in Pierre, the one place to go. Two teams that, you start out early in the season. It's you never know where some teams are going to end up by season's end. I think Stanley County, we pretty much know, is going to have another rebuilding year. But under first-year head coach Adam Dannenbring last year, the team learned the ropes a little bit. And Coach Dannenbring, I think, even though it's going to be a learning process, is going to get some pretty good improvement out of his girls this season. They're looking forward to that, even though it was a rough start on Saturday night. As for new head coach, we know him as a football coach, Michael Kiefer of the Lyman Raiders. He's now coaching girls basketball as well, and he actually has a pretty good crew coming back and some good experience. So two teams that could be headed in somewhat opposite directions this year as far as the records are concerned, but still, I guess we've got to play them. And Coach Kiefer told us earlier, and we'll hear it a little bit later on, that you never take anything for granted. You got to play them out, and you got to play well. And we'll talk about keys to success in just a little bit. We'll take our opening break, 60-second timeout, and we'll talk with the head coaches, and we'll hear from Coach Kiefer in a little bit. We'll begin with Coach Adam Dannenbring and our keys to success. Coming up in our pregame, which we bring you, Stanley County and Lyman girls basketball to start the high school basketball season here on 1060 KGFX, 107.1 FM, and drgnews.com.
What does your morning sound like? That's Daddy's little man.
Morning, Dad. Grabbed your usual from Mickey D's.
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Get two delicious sausage and muffin with egg sandwiches for just $4. Every speed McDonald's cannot be combined with any other offer, combo meal, single item at regular price.
At Dakota Mac, we offer more than 30-year fixed-rate mortgages and access to working capital. We offer you our grit, our determination, and our expertise. If you're looking for more than ag business as usual, dig deeper with Dakota Mac. Visit dakotamac.com. Equal housing lender.
First Dakota National Bank in Pierre and Blunt are your local Dakota Mac Ag real estate specialist. Are you ready to dig deeper? Give us a call today at 605-224-5817.
Back at Parkview Gym as we get set for high school basketball. Time to begin our pregame with the keys to success. In tonight's game, keys to success are brought to you by the Boyd Consemius Agency and American Family Insurance in Pierre. All right, keys to success, beginning with the Stanley County Lady Buffalo head coach Adam Dannenbrink. Game number 2 here, Coach. You had your first one on Saturday night, and I tell you what, it's kind of being thrown to the wolves against a really good White River team, a much improved White River team, as you saw. And unfortunately, I think that's a team that's really fast. And, as you've got a team that's going to be a work in progress, I think it was a tough game to start with, a game that against a team that is just that much quicker and a little bit better than most of the competition you'll see this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I would guess, on our schedule, I would think that they would be top 2 or 3, well, probably 3 or 4 team for sure that will play this year. So yeah, I mean, it's okay to start your season with one of those. I mean, there's definitely a sense of urgency on what we have to get fixed. And for us, it's breaking a press. Like, that's our number one thing. And that's just the number one rule of basketball. I think if you can't handle pressure, like, you're going to be in trouble. And like, teams are going to press us. Lyman's going to run the same press that White River did. It's a 3/4 court diamond. We're going to have to do a better job of breaking it. So
you get these losses. I mean, you're going to have losses along the way, and every loss, I always say, is a learning experience. I think the key is going to be taking what you learn and apply it to the next game. So I think that's the test for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to definitely improve turnover-wise, and we're definitely going to have to improve our defensive rebounding. We gave up way too many offensive rebounds to White River, just their quickness and speed to be able to run down rebounds, and then just taking care of the basketball. We turned the ball over far too many times. I mean, when you have more turnovers than shots, it's a recipe. It's an ugly thing. It's an ugly thing. So.
Going to have a lot of youth here as well, but there is some experience coming back here. And what are you seeing out of those that you expect are going to be your leaders this year so far?
We haven't showed it obviously in our game yet, but like in practice, I've seen just great improvement compared to where we were at last year. We basically, we lost a couple starters last year, but I mean, for the most part, I'm going to have this team basically this year, and I'm going to have them next year as well. And, the improvement in some of our drills that we've done, like, we haven't brought it to the court yet, but I've seen it, like, when we practice. So, I mean, it's there, but we just got to, transfer it from practice onto the court.
Looking forward to something, watching the JV game. We can see the girls get some time to spot up, make some good looks, and they're hitting their shots, and hopefully that's what happens in the varsity games.
Yeah, we would hope so. Like, I know that Lyman's got a couple of really good scorers, and we're going to have to focus on stopping them. And but for us, like, if we can break a press and get good shots, I'm going to be, I'm going to be a much happier coach than I was on Saturday night.
Lyman's coming off a win over Potter County, too, so they've got a little confidence going. They had a pretty good, hard-fought loss to open on Friday night against Chamberlain. It's a tough match for you, though.
Yeah, it is. And, like, I watched both of their games already, and Garnis and Wagner are very, very good guards, and we're going to have to really work hard to try to keep them out of the lane. And they can push the ball up the floor really well, and Kate's one of the best passers I've seen in a long time for a girl. Like, there's not a lot of girls that do a ton of no-look passing, and she does, and that's kind of fun for me to watch. And so hopefully, we can get a few girls that'll start doing some of those things.
So if you end up playing man, I mean, it just means sticking to your assignments and don't get caught necessarily on tracking the ball all the way. What are other keys to success tonight?
The rebounding obviously for us is going to be a big deal. Like, if we can just keep our rebounding close and keep our turnovers down, like, that'll give us a much better chance to be in the game.
All right. So. And foul trouble too. Stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, we're not.
The other night?
Oh, absolutely, it was. Yeah, when we get down to there's a drop off from when we get past our 6, 7, 8. There's definitely a drop off. I mean, Carly Leaf Green we got to have her on the floor almost all the time. And then Taylor Stroop is the other one. If we lose those two off the court, we're in trouble.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate it.
Adam Dannenbring, the second-year head coach of the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes, with comments and keys to success that are brought to you in our broadcast by the Boyd Consemius Agency of American Family Insurance in Pierre. We'll hear from them, and we'll be back and talk with Mike Keefe, the head coach of the Lyman Raiders, as we continue our pregame of Stanley County Lyman High School girls basketball on KGFX.
Being a small farmer has never been tougher.
Dan Wegmuller is a farmer and an American Family Insurance customer.
So it's good that American Family Insurance covers just what I need, because our dream is to become a century farm, a farm that's been in our family 100 years, and pass this life on to the next generation.
American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Contact the Boyd Consemius Agency, Inc., Pierre and Phillip.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Got more keys to success with Mike Keefe, for the head coach of the Lyman Raiders. And, Coach, already your third game of the season. You had a back-to-back Friday, Saturday start to the year. Pretty good, hard-fought loss at home against Chamberlain, but you went on the road. You beat Potter County pretty handily on Saturday. And I think so far from what you've seen from your girls, you're off and running, and you've got some promising things coming this season.
Yeah, I feel like we've started off okay. We definitely have things to improve on, but our effort's been really, really good. And I guess as a coach, that's your number one thing that you want to get from your girls is effort and hustle. And so far, I think that's been good.
You know, as you transitioned out of the basketball season, your first year, I think what you've got is some pretty good guard play, some pretty good leadership, and that's going to be a big help to you this year too.
We definitely have some girls with some experience that goes a long ways in any sport. So we're leaning on that experience, and you know our girls kind of had quite a bit of success last year, and I think that kind of surprised a few people. And you know, I don't think we're going to surprise anybody this year. So you know, we kind of got to take it to the next level. You know, both execution-wise and leadership-wise. So that's what we're looking for. I think we made gains from game 1 to game 2, and we're going to have to move forward with that.
And you got a favorable matchup here with Stanley County tonight as well. Try to keep things going in that offense, and I think the biggest thing right here, right now, is just continuing to get in the flow of the offense. You don't worry so much yet in this stage of the season about the opponent necessarily, do you?
No, you know, especially being my first year, we're kind of going with the philosophy of we know what we got to do. We have to worry about executing that, and I feel like, you know, for the most part, if we can do what we want to do offensively and defensively and execute that at a high level, that we're going to have success on the scoreboard and at the end of the game. So not a whole lot of, you know, matchups and things like that we're looking at. We just want to play good team defense. We want to take care of the basketball. Offensively, I think that's one of the main focal points for us. I think we turned the ball over too much last year, and you know, we can't score if we don't have the ball, and it's kind of literally out of our hands if we're throwing it around. So take care of the basketball is a big thing for us.
What about Stanley County, at least? That being said, what challenges do you see from them coming up tonight?
You know, it's one of those deals where they're going to come out and hustle. They're probably going to be a pretty physical team. So we got to match that, and I just want to match intensity with them. You know, I don't want us to come out flat or not ready to execute. I guess that's a big thing that we've focused on and have talked about.
And that's one of the things that when you come in as a favored team, I mean, if you help them out with complacency, then lo and behold, you're in a dogfight the rest of the way.
Absolutely, and on any given game, you know, I've coached football for a long time, and this is kind of new to me, but it's the same story. If you let somebody stick around and you don't respect your opponent, you're in for a dogfight, and that's, you know, it happens, and we want to try to avoid that.
All right, Coach, looking forward to seeing you guys a few times this year. Good luck tonight and the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That's Mike Kiefer, the head coach of the Lyman Raiders. Comments and keys to success, again brought to you by the Boyd Consemius Agency, American Family Insurance in Pierre. We'll continue with starting lineups in just a little bit. As we go to break, we remind you on your way to and from the games, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you to avoid a kiss with death and always plan a designated driver. A reminder from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Getting a little bit slick out there, too. We had some rain showers here in central South Dakota, and just walking through the parking lot here at Parkview Gym, we almost took a couple of headers. So be careful out there and slow down and as you travel again to and from the games here this evening. 60 seconds, and we're back with the starting lineups. Actually, we can take 2 minutes. Starting lineups are coming up next, and girls basketball tipping off in just a little bit here on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Kennebec Telephone Company Incorporated and their divisions, Charlie's Welding and Auto Repair, TTC Construction, PowerCom TCS, and Napa of Chamberlain proudly support all area youth in their activities. Since 1908, Kennebec Telephone Company has provided the Lyman area with high-speed internet, local and long-distance telephone service, Real Choice TV, excavating, sprinkler systems, electrical work, computer repair, smart homes and farms, auto and welding repair, and Napa Auto Parts. Call our office and find out what we can do for you.
Good luck, Raiders, from BJ's Food Center in Kennebec. BJ's Food Center has everything a local grocery store has. Fresh produce, hand-cut meats, snacks, and weekly specials throughout the store. Plus a friendly staff to help you find whatever you're looking for. When you shop at BJ's, you leave feeling good about supporting a small-town business. BJ's Food Center is proud to support the Lyman Raiders in all their school activities.
Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Up to 90% of colon cancer can be avoided with routine colonoscopies, yet 1/3 of adults skip their colonoscopy. We understand why you're whining, but colon prep is manageable. It's one evening followed by a simple procedure that could save your life. So what are you waiting for? Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Schedule a colonoscopy at avera.org/colon or call 888-422-1410.
The key to a successful hunt begins at Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. They carry a large variety of reloading equipment, cleaning supplies, and firearms accessories. They also sell and deliver Liberty gun safes. See Teton River Traders Gun Shop for all your gunsmithing needs, including custom-built firearms. Stop in today. Teton River Traders Gun Shop, located west of Highway 1434 in Fort Pierre.
Back again at Parkview Gym. Brian Open getting ready for play-by-play. First game of the year for basketball here on KGFX, featuring Stanley County and Lyman. Lyman is also on the boys' side of things on KPLO 94.5 FM. They are at home at Lyman Gardens. Darren Boyle has the call of that one as they take on the state champions from a year ago in Class B, the Sully Buttes Chargers. And that one just tipping off right about now. And, of course, you can follow that game on the KPLO YouTube link on YouTube.com. Of course, we have our live stream up and running, and you can see and hear this game as we bring it to you from Parkview Gym. You just heard from Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. They sponsor the naming of tonight's starting lineups, and we'll begin with a 1-1 Lyman Raiders as they'll begin with the guard set of Kate Garnos, a point guard at 5'8" and a junior, and a good one. Casey Wagner, another 5'8" junior in the backcourt, along with Maddie Menger, a 5'3" sophomore. So Lyman then looks up front with Maddie Schindler, a 6' senior, and J.C. Miller, a 5'6" junior in the forward spot. So Manger, Garnos, Schindler, Wagner, and Miller, the starting five for the Lyman Raiders, who are 1-1 on the season, head coached by Mike Kiefer, assisted by Ashley Green. Your Teton River Traders starting lineups for the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes on their home floor go with Taylor Stroop on the point, a freshman at 5'4". A shooting guard is Cedar Scott, senior at 5'6", the only senior on this squad. Jada Tibbs is the quickness in the backcourt as well. She's a 5'2" junior. Up front, Tatum Bush, a 5'8" junior, who was a Mobridge Lady Tiger a year ago. excuse me, and Carly Leafgreen is in the post, the junior, at 6 feet. For Stanley County, with Stroop, Scott, Tibbs, Leafgreen, and Bush, the starting five. For the 0-1 Lady Buffaloes, head coached by Adam Dannenbring, assisted by Ryan Royer and Matthew Van Zee. Those are your Teton River Traders Gun Shop starting lineups. And your game officials tonight, sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office. They are the law on the court. John Krogstrand, Brandon Solek, and Dan Swenson from the Pierre area. Our law on the court from the South Dakota Attorney General's Office. 2 minutes and we tip it off. Coming up next, it's high school girls basketball on KGFX.
Every day, you share personal information about yourself with others. You may write a check, charge fuel, rent a car, mail your tax returns, schedule a doctor's appointment, or post something on social media. Each transaction may share some sort of personal information, such as bank and credit card account numbers, social security number, name, address, or phone number. There are unscrupulous individuals, identity thieves, targeting these routine transactions, trying to gain your information to commit fraud. If you think somebody has stolen your identity, contact Consumer Protection at 1-800-300-1986.
Helverson Oil in Kennebec is proud to sponsor the Lyman County Raiders and wish them the best of luck in today's game. Helverson Oil is the place to stop for oil changes, tire and brake service, batteries, and hunting supplies. They have a full C-store with 24-hour pay at the pump and E85 gas and premium diesel fuel. Good luck to all teams participating, and go Raiders! From Judy and the staff at Helverson Oil in Kennebec.
Do not miss the Stanley County Booster Club Chili and Soup Cook-Off, taking place on January 29th during the Todd County Doubleheader. Serving happens from 5 to 7 p.m. You pay just $5 for a bottomless bowl and will receive one vote for your favorite soup or chili. That's the Stanley County Booster Club Chili and Soup Cook-Off, January 29th at the Parkview Gym. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC. Welcome to Lynn's Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre. Check out our selections in the meat, produce, and deli departments, as well as the rest of the store. Don't see what you need? Just ask. Our friendly staff is more than happy to help in any way possible. For the holidays, stop in or give us a call with any special orders or requests to make your get-together complete. Whether a fruit basket, meat and cheese tray, or a special cut of meat, we'll be glad to assist you. And now, Lynn's Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre is your trustworthy hardware dealer. From step ladders to cordless drillers.
Back at Parkview, Stanley County with their second game in a row to open on their home floor this season. Again, a 72-16 loss against a much improved White River girls team this year. That was on Saturday night as Lyman comes in 1-1 on the season, a 6-point loss at home to Chamberlain on Friday night, but up at Potter County, a 57-31 winner. Actually, a 57-36 winner at Potter County on Saturday night. So their third game, Stanley County's second game of the season. Quick look at upcoming action for Lyman as they've got a couple of double headers coming up this week. With the boys, they go to Rapid City Christian on Friday, and then they will host Bennett County on Saturday. In fact, the boys' version of this matchup will be next Thursday as well, when the Stanley County Buffaloes, who have a 1-0 start on the season after a win at Bennett County on Friday night, they'll host Lyman next Thursday. But we've got other games planned for both KGFX and KPLO. We will not be covering that game, so we just got the girls' matchup here, this one tonight. Stanley County also has a couple of double headers coming up when the boys and girls for the Buffs and Lady Buffs head to Phillip on Thursday. We'll have that, both of those games for you here on 1060 KGFX Thursday night, 6:30 with a tip-off of the first game. And then a week from tonight, boys and girls together entertaining the Jones County Coyotes and Lady Coyotes. And that doubleheader is slated for 94.5 KPLO. Now we're getting set to tip this one off. You're listening to high school girls basketball. Lyman at Stanley County, 1060 AM, 107.1 FM, KGFX. Pierre Ford Pierre, a member of the Dakota Radio Group. Online at drgnews.com. On video, live stream at youtube.com. Subscribe to the KGFX channel. The opening tip is sponsored by Lynn's Dakota Mart stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. John Krogstrand puts it up in the air. It's controlled by Lyman. Lyman comes out in black with the red numbers and white trim, heading right to left or near court to far, as we are up at the angle in the corner of the Parkview Gym here. A nice dump down below, and the shot is up and good for Kate Garnus, and Lyman will strike first from about 15 feet out. Now a hands into the passing lane and a takeaway for Maddie Schindler. She'll push it up the floor, and Garnus, just like that, with a left-handed layup in traffic, has a 4-0 start for her Lyman Raider squad. And again, for the Lady Buffaloes, it's difficult sometimes to break the press. They'll get it across here to Leaf Green at half court. Pass from Tatum Bush, and Lady Buffs get their offense set up for the first time tonight on their second possession. They're in home white, purple numbers, gold trim, heading from left to right as we follow the action here. Jada Tibbs is on the move, gets caught underneath, but a nice kick out. Cedar Scott with a good look, but on had the strength on that one, but just could not get the line on it. Misses everything. Now Schindler with a chance underneath on the other end, unable to hit, and it's brought down by the Lady Buffaloes. On the way back, 4-0. Lyman leads early on, a minute and a half, almost into this one. Here comes Bush on the left baseline. Kicks it out. Scott tries another three-pointer, draws iron this time, but can't get it as Taylor Stroop will run down the rebound. Now Scott again, left open again. Third time's a charm for Cedar Scott. And the Lady Buffaloes are on the board for the first time. That one hit from just up above the right wing. Down below, good look for Cedar. She likes to hit those threes or likes to shoot them, and she will hit them if you give her enough opportunity. And she can get hot as well. Schindler, nice turnaround underneath on the right side. It's up and in. Maddie Schindler with her first deuce of the night, and it's 6-3. Bush down on the left wing. They'll swing it around through Tibbs to Stroop. Back to Jada Tibbs on the move. And looked like she had a nice reverse setup, but loses a handle on the dribble, and the ball will trickle out of bounds in the second turnover for the Lady Buffaloes. Got a few scores being sent in here from our Mr. Everything scorer. Scoring official, shall we say. John Duncan, our technical director, back in studio. We'll pass those along, and of course we'll keep you updated on Lyman and Sully Buttes, the boys game, which we have on KPLO-FM tonight, as that one has tipped off as well. Get you quarter updates on that. And we're going to have a timeout called here by the Raiders as they were unable to get really anything set up in offense. 15 left on the shot clock, and we'll take a quick 30-second timeout. 5:28 to go, first quarter, 6-3. Lyman on top of Stanley County. Girls basketball is on KGFX.
The staff at Dakota Prairie Bank is proud to support our young athletes in tonight's game. This time of year isn't just busy for them, but moms and dads and other sports fans as well. So when you're on the go, Dakota Prairie Bank provides services that make banking simpler for you, like line banking, checking your account, transferring money. It's quick, it's convenient, and a big help during this busy time of year. Dakota Prairie Bank, located in Fort Pierre, with branches in Presho and Draper, member FDIC.
Dakota Prairie Bank.
Back at Parkview Gym, Michael Kiefer wanting to set some things up, see if the girls can get going in the offensive look that they're looking for. Up to the top of the key in the middle of the paint. Schindler double teamed as she turns around, finds the open girl. That is Garnos, but she will miss from the right side. Mid-range jumper, no good. Garnos hit her first two, but misses her third shot of the night. Now Jada Tibbs on the kick out will score from long range. And the Lady Buffaloes with a pair of threes have tied this game at 6-6 with 3 minutes plus gone by now. 4:50 and counting down. We're in the first quarter. Off to a good start. Lady Buffs could only muster 16 points against White River on Saturday. Most of that, I think they only had 2 points, according to Coach Dannenbring, in that second half. Garnis too strong on the turnaround from the right side. No good. Second chance also no good. But as Schindler comes down with an offensive rebound, she throws it into the hands of Jada Tibbs, who's standing in the way. We'll get the steal, and then we've got a foul called. J.C. Miller had an offensive rebound. Schindler with an offensive rebound, but again the steal for Tibbs, and then the foul is whistled. This is our first foul of the night for either team, and Kate Garnos has her first personal. So here comes Tibbs on the left side, pulls up the dribble, now back to Scott. Quick fire this time. Unable to really get a good spot up. Schindler will run down the rebound on the near side. Cedar Scott 1 out of 4 from long range. Here's a long one here from the left side, and no good. In and out. Leaf Green fighting for a rebound. The miss for Maddie Menger. And we've got a jump ball, and the possession arrow points to the Lady Buffs. So back and forth action. Lyman had the early lead, but a pair of three-pointers for Stanley County has them pulling even. Tatum Bush unable to get the pass. It might have been tipped. It's taken away by Manger. She'll feed back underneath, and the shot is up and good for Kate Garnus, who has her third field goal. Manger with a nice defensive play. As the Lady Buffs could not break the press. They break it here. Tibbs down in the left wing, or the left block, back up to Bush, and she'll lean one way and dribble to the right side down the lane, but she is called for a travel. Drag the pivot foot. And Lyman back on the offensive end. Lady Buffaloes back off defensively, 8-6. Raiders have the lead with 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Up, down, inside. It goes to Schindler, who loses a handle on the ball. It's picked up underneath by J.C. Miller, and she will be reached in upon by Cedar Scott. So Cedar picks up her first team foul for the Lady Buffs. Haven't had a lot of whistles so far here in the early going. Hopefully that stays that way. We like to see, especially early in the season, teams getting an opportunity to run the floor, get in game shape. Here's a spot up three for Maddie Menger from the left side, and 5 in a row scored by the Raiders now. Bush with another pass that's stolen by Schindler. Taken back away. Now Leaf Green tries to return the favor, but she got caught stumbling down the lane and could not get a handle on it. Lyman will maintain possession, and Adam Dannenbring will take a timeout for the Lady Buffaloes. 2:55 to go in the first quarter. Timeout on the floor. This is a full timeout. We'll take a 60-second break as Lyman leads Stanley County 11-6. Girls basketball is on KGFX.
Darren Boyle Sales is Central South Dakota's Bush Hog dealer, and right now you can take advantage of great deals on all Bush Hog inventory during my inventory reduction event. I have Bush Hog mowers on hand in sizes from 5 to 15 feet, Bush Hog zero-turn mowers, and the new Bush Hog hay rakes on hand as well. Everything is priced to move. Get a great year-end deal during the inventory reduction event at Darren Boyle Sales. Stop by the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Give me a call at 222-0317 or shop online anytime at DarrenBoyleSales.com.
Winning isn't everything. It's how you play the game that counts. If your values tell you the same, let's start a new conversation about money. At Thrivent Financial, they believe money is a tool, not a goal. No matter how much you have, they offer financial guidance to help you feel confident, because it's not just about making more, it's about doing more. Call financial consultant Mike Reimer today, 234-0382. Licensed agent producer of Thrivent Financial, marketing name for Thrivent Financial for Lutherans, registered representative of Thrivent Investment Management Incorporated.
Now back at Parkview Gym, a full timeout wasn't taken the full period or the full 1 minute by either team. So we're back at Manger with a three ball, but unable to hit. Schindler with the offensive rebound, however, is able to put it back up and in, and now more trouble getting it across the half-court line for the Lady Buffs. But Lyman unable to get a handle on it. It'll go back out of bounds, and we have our first substitution, it looks like, or do we? In the ballgame, 13-6. That's 7 unanswered for the Raiders with 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. Breaking what was a 6-6 tie. Trouble for the Lady Buffs to get it across half court, and we've got a 10-second violation. It's a nice thing about the 35-second shot clock. Sometimes the officials can use that to see just where the team is in a 10-second countdown. Here it got down to 24 seconds. And an easy call for Brandon Solik and the officiating crew. So Lyman back on the attack once again. Far side of the floor, still all starters in there. Schindler works against Leaf Green. Curley reaches in as Maddie Schindler was putting the shot up. That'll be a two-shot foul coming. We'll have our first free throws of the night from either team forthcoming. Carly Leaf Green's first personal foul with 1:57 to go here in the first quarter. Schindler first free throw attempt of the night is up and good. Nice line drive stroke, but it fell right on through. Got a few Lady Raiders ready to check in. 2 of them will get the opportunity now. 1 will wait for the shooter. Garnos and Manger will check out. Lindsay Theory, a 5'7 junior, is in for the first time, along with Briar Schweitzer, a 5'6 junior. And Schindler's second free throw will get the roll. 2 for 2 from Maddie Schindler. She has 6 points, along with Garnos' 6. And Lyman leads 15-6. In for Schindler is Desiree Youthie. She's a 5'9" junior. So a little bit of an early cushion being built here by the Raiders. Lady Buffaloes will set up the offense in the half court. Bush has it up on the top of the key. Looks to drive. Gets reached in upon. Actually, no foul called. It was a clean takeaway, and a nice one at that by Lindsay Theory. Now up the floor, and we will have a drive and a foul. Jada Tibbs perhaps with the reach. She'll have her first personal, but a nice, again, a good hands play by Lindsay Theory to get the steal. Tatum Bush meant business driving down that right side of the lane, but just unable to keep the dribble under control. At the line is Casey Wagner. Back ironed her first one. Second attempt is in and out, no good. Leaf Green has the rebound for the Lady Buffaloes. Stanley County a little quiet now after hitting a couple of threes early in the quarter. Trailing by 9, 15-6. Under a minute and a half to go in the period. Tibbs has it, throws it off the ankle of a Lyman defender, and it's taken away. Another turnover, that's 8 for the Lady Buffaloes, but I believe 5 possessions in a row now have ended in Lyman takeaways. They work with a 9-point lead again, 15-6. Up top is J.C. Miller. Down to the left side, Theory. Miller kicks it over to the right side with 10 on the shot clock. Back to Miller off of the left elbow. Shot is up, no good, and back to the Raiders it comes, and underneath, foul is called. Shot goes up too strong, but nice keep alive and a good hustle play by Casey Wagner. And Desiree Youthie will go to the free throw line with 46 seconds to play in the quarter. Tatum Bush has her first personal foul. One score from the area as Youthie gets her first free throw to go. Faulkton area has defeated Sunshine Bible Academy in a boys basketball contest, 52-43. Second free throw for Youthie off the front end. Cedar Scott steps in to block out the shooter. And the Lady Buffaloes down by 10 now. Right elbow with it on a bounce pass is Bush, and on the cut is Leaf Green, fouled. Shot is up and good. It'll count. So the 10-0 run for Lyman comes to an end, and Carly Leaf Green's first bucket of the night will culminate in a chance to finish off a three-point play. Wagner guilty of the reach for the Raiders, her first personal, second team foul. Leaf Green's free throw, the one and only, is off the rim, no good. Scott with a rebound, but can't get it to go on the putback. Lyman picks up the loose ball, but standing on the end line is Lindsay Theory. So Stanley County will get another opportunity. Shot clock will be off with 27 seconds to go. Here in our first quarter, the inbound comes off the right block. Leaf Green puts it up too strong, though. And Wagner down with a rebound. Had an opportunity to make that ultimately a 4-point play, but just a little too strong. Here's Taylor Stroop stepping into the passing lane and taking it away. Her first steal of the night. Lyman's third turnover. 3 seconds on the quarter clock. Bush at the elbow scoops one up and got it off the front of the rim. That would have been a fun way to end the quarter, but not a bad period for either team, but Lyman has the lead on the Wagner Auto scoreboard. It's the Raiders 16, the Lady Buffaloes 8. Wagner Auto of Pierre is the one place to go as we break for 60 seconds, and quarter number 2 coming up next as you listen to Lady Buffalo basketball with the Lyman Raiders on 1060 KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Looking to do good this holiday season but never seem to have any extra cash? Owyhee Federal Credit Union has you covered. If you have a loan with us for a small fee, you can skip one or all of your loan payments for either the month of November, December, or January. A portion of that fee will go to support a local charity. Just one way you can help us make our community a better place. Stop in and see us at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union. Each South Dakota farmer operates differently, and that means that ag insurance should be as unique as every farmer in the field. Fisher Rounds & Associates gets to know you and your operation before we find a policy. That way, we can make sure you have the coverage you need. Contact Fisher Rounds & Associates and see what it means to have us at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, serving South Dakota farmers with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Welcome back to Parkview Gym. Boy, I tell you what, in some of these minute breaks we've had, these coaches aren't wasting much time. They're sending the players right back out there. 12 seconds in. Lyman had the first possession of our second period, but a pass gets away and it'll go out of bounds underneath. And Stanley County takes it back on offense, but Casey Wagner will wrestle the basketball away from Tatum Bush, trying to get it to Taylor Stroop on the cut. So 16-8 our score. Lyman, who shoots 6 out of 11 unofficially in that first quarter, including one three-pointer. Actually, yes, one three-pointer, 3 free throws as well. Stanley County struggled with 3 out of 8, but they did hit a couple of long-range shots. Now on the drive is Casey Wagner, but on the reach is Cedar Scott. Scott will pick up her second personal, and that is team foul number 5 for the Lady Buffaloes. Inbound from underneath. Looks like the starting lineup replenished here to start the second quarter. Garnis took the inbound, got it back to Schindler, but whether Leaf Green or Bush, the shot is blocked. Taken away by the Lady Buffaloes. Back across the timeline, Stroop sets it up. Over to Tibbs. Bush down low on the left side finds Stroop in the middle of the lane. She'll feed it to Leaf Green, but the shot is up and off the mark. No good. Leaf Green battling for a loose ball. Can't get it back. She'll bounce it on the end line, and it'll go to Lyman. One thing about Stanley County, when things go bad, obviously they're having their struggles at times getting the ball across the timeline against the press of Lyman, but when they get set up in their offense, if they can get the looks, they can hit their shots, but that's going to be key from them, especially the close range opportunities. They have to get that ball off the square. Is a nice pick and roll. But Leaf Green loses the battle, I should say wins the battle against Maddie Schindler. Loose ball up the floor, picked up by the Lady Buffs, and now we'll have a jump ball called. The possession arrow keeps it with Stanley County. Lady Buffaloes have their first substitution in tonight. Shaylee Topol, a 5'7" freshman, checked in for Cedar Scott on the last stoppage of play. 6:22 to play. We're in the first half, second quarter to be more specific. 16-8, Lyman still holding their first quarter lead. Tibbs through the lane on the right side, puts it up off the mark, no good. J.C. Miller with the rebound. Lyman looking to run. Manger from the right side corner on the runner is blocked by Leaf Green. Carly's got another blocked shot. But we've got another whistle on the loose ball, and Tibbs, I believe, called for the foul, which would be her second personal. Leaf Green will check out despite Tibbs getting that second foul called. It's Leaf Green out, Cedar Scott back in. 16-8, Lyman on the inbound. Schindler with a nice move, got Tatum Bush to fly right by, and Maddie Schindler will put her third field goal up and in. She has 8 points. 18-8, the Lyman lead is back to 10. Under 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Scott from the right corner. 3 ball is no good and run down with not an inch to spare in front of the Lyman bench by J.C. Wagner. Casey Wagner, that is. No, J.C. Miller is actually what we're right. And we've got bodies on the floor here off of a miss of a layup by Manger. Manger and Scott got tangled up a little bit. But it is Manger who gets dinged for the foul. That'll be her first personal, only the third for the Raiders here. And the pressure's still there by the Raiders, taken away by Casey Wagner. She'll make a move and put an awkward layup up and in. 10th turnover for the Lady Buffaloes. This one turned into a bucket by Lyman. Press is broken this time. Stroop on the move, has to settle it down. Gets it back to Tatum Bush now. It is to Taylor Stroop once again. 3 minutes gone by, 5 to go, second period. Lyman by a dozen, their biggest lead so far. Scott with a loose ball run down back near half court. Gets it to Shaylee Topol. 6 on the shot clock. Lady Buffs will have to hurry. Tibbs tries to force one up in traffic, and that one will be lost out of bounds. And Lyman will take over once again. Leaf Green just checking back in after a brief break on the bench. Tatum Bush will get a breather this time for Stanley County. Still 20-8. Lyman with the lead. They have a 4-0 start to this second period, and another screen and roll, and a nice job by Carly Leafgreen blocking the shot of Maddie Schindler. But now Maddie Manger coming back and taking the steal away. So the fast break unsuccessful for the Lady Buffaloes. Now Wagner out on the left side. Shot is up and good. And she took a hip check as well from Cedar Scott. And a chance at a 4-point play coming for Casey Wagner and the Lyman Raiders. Wagner's second field goal. Cedar Scott picks up her third personal, so she may have to check out for the balance of the first half with 4:16 left to go. 23-8 our score. And a chance for one more here for Wagner from the stripe, and this one is good. Missed 2 a little bit ago, but gets her first one this time. She's got 6, and a timeout will be taken here in the backcourt. Just a 30-second break for Adam Dannenbring and the Lady Buffaloes. 4:13 to go in the second period. Lyman on an 8-0 run to open the quarter. They lead 24-8, and we're back in 30 seconds on KGFX.
If your checking account earns little or no interest and charges you ATM fees galore, isn't it time for a new checking account? At Bank West, E-Plus checking customers earn a great interest rate and never pay ATM fees. Can your current checking account do that? Switching to E-Plus is easy. Visit us online at bankwest-sd.bank or work with a friendly staff at one of our convenient locations. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Back at Parkview Gym, continuing through about halfway through our second quarter of play, and Lyman opening up a nice double-digit cushion here, leading Stanley County 24-8. Brian Oakland with a play-by-play. Get you some scores coming up at halftime, but we've got a ways to go. Stroop barely dancing and staying in bounds as she gets it across the timeline, tries to feed to Tatum Bush on the near side, but it's knocked away and out of bounds. Shaylee Topol will inbound. Fakes right, throws left to Stroop. Now they'll set it up. Tibbs will now leave it with Stroop. Back to the right side of the elbow. It goes to Tatum Bush. Kicks out. Tibbs fires a 3. A little too strong. No good. Long-armed rebound by Casey Wagner, and she still has it up the floor. Dumps it down underneath. Schindler is fouled from behind, and I believe it was Leaf Green a little bit late on that one. And it is Carly Leafgreen with her second personal. Lyman in the bonus now, but this is a 2-shot opportunity anyway for Maddie Schindler, who went 2 for 2 in the first period. Gets her third one to go here. And one more coming. Foul trouble will be key for Stanley County. They need to stay out of foul trouble, especially the starting 5. And they've already got Cedar Scott on the bench with 3 fouls. Jada Tibbs has 2, and Carly Leafgreen now with 2. Second free throw, no good for Schindler. And she will be stuck on 9 points here in the first half, 25-8. This game was tied at one point at 6-6. Lyman ended the first period on a 10-2 run, and they've got the first 9 points here in the second quarter. That's 19-2 on the rally overall. Bush Off balance in the lane. Shot is up. It will not go. Manger down with a rebound. Moves up across the timeline to set it up for the black and red. Garnis makes a move around Stroop. Met up by Bush, but the shot is up over the top. It rims in and out. No good. Kept alive by Wagner. Back to Manger. Driving, and a foul will be called. A reach in here against the Lady Buffaloes. And is it Tibbs picking up her third? No, it's Leaf Green picking up her third. So foul trouble has come to the Lady Buffaloes. Both teams substituting in and out. But the key for Stanley County is their post player, Carly Leafgreen, joining Cedar Scott on the bench with 3 personal fouls. Jordan Sosa, a 5'9" freshman, checks in for the first time. She played a nice JV game, and she gets a rebound off of the miss of the free throw, which was a bonus for Maddie Manger. So 25-8, we continue. Lyman leading by 17. Topel, top of the key, spins. Pulls up the dribble, finds Stroop. Taylor Stroop back up to the top of the key. Over to Tibbs. And that's a travel. Frustration a little bit coming here for Tibbs and the Lady Buffaloes, who turn it over for the 13th time. Taking care of the basketball. Again, another key for Stanley County, as it will be, well, it is for any team, but especially for the young and somewhat inexperienced Lady Buffaloes. Here's a drag of the pivot foot, taking the pass at the top of the key. Briar Schweitzer, who had just checked in. She'll give it back to the Lady Buffs. Schweitzer's back in there. Lindsay Theory back in, along with number 5, Jezere Youthie. They've all been on the floor once before. Garnis is still in there, as is Maddie Manger from the starting lineup. Tibbs tries to feed down low to the corner. Bush with a good hustle, but it was Lindsay Theory who got the hand to knock it away. And as Tatum Bush had gone to the floor to try to keep it alive, she's in contact with both the ball and the sideline or the end line, or both. So it's out of bounds and back to the Raiders. And now basketball tipped away by Stanley County. Off of the end line. 2 minutes, 2 seconds to go, second period. All Lyman here in the second quarter, leading 25-8. Garnis will take the inbound, hesitates, off the left block. Shot is blocked, and the officials will have to confer. I don't know that anybody touched it, and they will say Lyman basketball. But the shot clock's still running down. 17 seconds as Lyman will inbound. They get it underneath, and the left-handed effort by Garnis got caught too far under the basket. Tatum Bush down with a rebound. And then she is pushed from behind. So Lyman with a foul here. And it'll be Schweitzer's first personal. Only 4 team fouls for the Raiders. So they still have a couple to give here in the first half. And it's 4 individuals with 1 foul apiece, whereas Stanley County has 9 total fouls, but 3 players in first half foul trouble. Underneath is Tibbs. Kicks out. Topel in traffic will get one to go with a roll and a foul. Nice move for Shaylee Topel, splitting defenders. Had enough control on this one to hit the ball to the rim, and it rolls around and falls through. Shaylee Topel on the board with her first basket of the night and a chance to make it a full 3-point play. The foul goes against Lindsay Theory. And that'll be her first. 3-for-3 swap here for the Raiders. And some key players back in here for Lyman, including Wagner and Schindler, but Shaylee Topel will finish off the 3-point play. Those are the first 3 points for the Lady Buffaloes here after 6.5 minutes have gone by in the second quarter. 25-11, our updated score. Lyman with the 14-point lead. Schindler had it low, kicks it out to Wagner. Out to Miller. J.C. Miller back in there to Wagner across the lane, and a foul is called. And a nice job of ball movement here by the Raiders. Theory's still in there, and she's going to the free throw line. Stanley County with their 10th team foul. This one is whistled on Jordan Sosa. Free throws again here at Theory. Her first attempt of the night is through and true. Lead back to 15. They can make it one more with another free throw, which unfortunately is off the mark. Schindler reaching over the top for a rebound, had it, but then is tied up by Sosa. So it's a jump ball, but it will stay with Lyman on the alternating possession. Inbound underneath, throw in. Comes to Youthy, who loses a handle on it, taken away by Jada Tibbs. Turnover number 6 for the Raiders, who lead by 15. Just outside of a minute to go. Reverse underneath from right to left, and Stroop just made a really nice drive, but could not get it to go. Sosa will get an offensive rebound as she had it and then was tied up. Stanley County's got some good dribble penetration to the sideline, but sometimes it looks like they've got shots available, and this one, tipped off of Tibbs. It was first tipped by Wagner off of the inbound. I thought Tibbs was the last to touch it, and it went into the backcourt, but Stanley County maintains possession. Now we've got extracurricular away from the basketball, and an offensive foul is called, perhaps a moving screen, and Tatum Bush will pick up her second personal foul. So Leaf Green and Scott with 3 fouls apiece. Jada Tibbs and Tatum Bush with 2 each. We're into the final minute of our second quarter and of our first half. 35 seconds and counting down. Lyman leads 26-11. Pass on the entry is too tall for Lindsay Theory from Maddie Schindler, and that one will trickle out of bounds. 30 seconds to go, shot clock off. Stroop will walk it across the timeline. Puts it in motion, leaves it for Tibbs on the right wing. Tibbs dribbles, now back out to Bush. Toenails on the arc. I think that's a long 2, but a little too strong, and a loose ball back up near the top of the key, and we'll have a jump ball, and Lyman should get the advantage here. Good look for Tatum Bush, but put a little bit too much on that one. And the Raiders down with it, and they'll have the last 10 seconds to go the length of the floor. Bush will check out in place of Carly O'Connor, a 5'7" freshman for the Lady Buffaloes. Try to keep from getting a third personal foul. Inside, in front of the free throw line, Schindler, loose ball, and nobody with a handle on it as we go to halftime. The buzzer sounds, and we have reached our CHS Midwest Cooperatives halftime. On the Wagner Auto scoreboard, it's 26-11. Lyman leading the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes. Wagner Auto appears the one place to go. When we are back after a 2-minute timeout to give you that first half recap, we'll check in on other scores and look at upcoming action once again in our CHS Midwest Cooperatives halftime break, as you listen to Lady Buffalo basketball with Lyman Lady Raiders and 1060 KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Did you know that CHS Midwest Cooperative Autumn Rewards provides qualified customers 0% interest, and you don't have to give up any cash or volume discounts? That's right. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, we're working with you to provide lasting success. Customers receive full cash and volume discounts on industry-leading genetics, seed treatments, plus 0%. Your CHS Midwest Cooperative agronomist is ready to help you build a plan for success in 2019. Why wait? Contact CHS Midwest Cooperative today to learn more.
Bottom Line Welding Service. Line Welding offers on and off site welding services, conveniently located at 1304 North Waldron in Fort Pierre. Contact Tim Hughes at 223-2063. That's 223-2063 for all of your welding needs. Go Buffaloes.
Darren Boyle Sales is Central South Dakota's Bush Hog dealer, and right now you can take advantage of great deals on all Bush Hog inventory during my inventory reduction event. I have Bush Hog mowers on hand in sizes from 5 to 15 feet, Bush Hog zero-turn mowers, and the new Bush Hog hay rakes on hand as well. Everything is priced to move. Get a great year-end deal during the inventory reduction event at Darren Boyle Sales. Stop by the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Give me a call at 222-0317 or shop online anytime at DarrenBoyleSales.com.
What does your morning sound like?
That's Daddy's little man.
Morning day. Grab Grabbed your usual from Mickey D's.
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Get 2 delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches for just $4. At participating McDonald's cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Welcome back to Parkview Gym, and we have reached the half. 26-11, Lyman leads the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes. Our halftime break sponsored in part by CHS Midwest Cooperatives in cities throughout central South Dakota. Two teams that were out early in a pretty even battle, but you've got, it was a 6-6 tie, a couple of threes hit by Stanley County, but then Lyman opened up a 10-2 run the rest of the way in the first quarter. They led after 8 minutes of play by the score of 16-8. Then they went on and scored the first 9 points of the second period. And Stanley County got a 3-point play from Shaylee Topol for their only output at about the 1:33 mark of the second quarter. And, another free throw for Lyman, and that's where we are. A 10-3 scoring advantage in the period for the visitors, and they lead Stanley County here in Fort Pierre 26-11. Lady Buffaloes hitting 4 of 16 first half shots, including 2 of 7 from long range, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 players with 3 points apiece. The long shots are good for Cedar Scott, and for Jada Tibbs, the 3-point play for Shaylee Topol. Carly Leafgreen has 2 points for Stanley County. For Lyman, who has hit 9 out of 20 shots in the first half from the field unofficially, including 2 of 4 from outside the arc. They're also getting to the free throw line, as Stanley County has had a little difficulty keeping their hands to themselves a little bit, or at least keeping them straight up. 6 out of 12 from the free throw line for Lyman. And they are led in scoring with 9 points by the 6-foot senior Madeline Schindler. Next in line is Kate Garnis, who has 6 points. All of those came early in the first quarter. 6 points in the second quarter coming as well from Casey Wagner. A 3-pointer is down from Maddie Manger, and 1 point from the line for Lindsay Theory off the bench for Lyman, who leads 26-11. Other stats, including a 12-10 rebounding advantage for Lyman, 5-3 on the offensive end overall. Stanley County, of course, their big numbers this season will be, or their key number will be turnovers. If they can keep them down, their chances of improvement and better play will certainly improve. They've got 15 turnovers unofficially in that first half, compared to 7 for the Raiders, but Stanley County does have a 4-3 advantage in the assist category, as Lyman with 3 assists, 2 for Kate Garnis in the first half. Tatum Bush with a couple of assists as well. Rebounding leaders for Lyman would include Schindler with 4 unofficially, J.C. Miller with 3, and then for Stanley County, Carly Leafgreen with a couple of rebounds. Also, Jordan Sosa off the bench with 2 rebounds. Tatum Bush, Cedar Scott also with 2 rebounds apiece. 26-11 is our score, and we'll take another 2-minute timeout, and we are back with more of the CHS halftime break. You're listening to high school basketball on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
At Dakota Mac, we offer more than 30-year fixed-rate mortgages and access to working capital. We offer you our grit, our determination, and our expertise. If you're looking for more than ag business as usual, dig deeper with Dakota Mac. Visit dakotamac.com, equal housing lender.
First Dakota National Bank in Pierre and Blunt are your local Dakota Mac Ag real estate specialist. Are you ready to dig deeper? Give us a call today at 605-224-5817. Kennebec Telephone Company Incorporated and their divisions, Charlie's Welding and Auto Repair, KTC Construction, PowerCom TCS, and Napa of Chamberlain proudly support all area youth and their activities. Since 1908, Kennebec Telephone Company has provided the Lyman area with high-speed internet, local and long-distance telephone service, Real Choice TV, excavating, sprinkler systems, electrical work, computer repair, smart homes and farms, auto and welding repair, and Napa Auto Parts. Call our office and find out what we can do for you.
Good luck, Raiders, from BJ's Food Center in Kennebec. BJ's Food Center has everything a local grocery store has. Fresh produce, hand-cut meats, snacks, and weekly specials throughout the store. plus a friendly staff to help you find whatever you're looking for. When you shop at BJ's, you leave feeling good about supporting a small-town business. BJ's Food Center is proud to support the Lyman Raiders in all their school activities.
Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Up to 90% of colon cancer can be avoided with routine colonoscopies, yet 1/3 of adults skip their colonoscopy. We understand why you're whining, but colon prep is manageable. It's one evening followed by a simple procedure that could save your life. So what are you waiting for? Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Schedule a colonoscopy at avera.org/colon or call 888-422-1410.
Back at Parkview Gym, couple of minutes left in our halftime break to go. Lyman leading Stanley County 26-11 with Jeff Duncan back in studio. I'm Brian Oakland at the gym as we bring you our first coverage of high school basketball on KGFX this winter sports season. Raiders are on the air in the Dakota Radio Group's FM side as well. They're leading here on the girls' side, but they trail Sully Buttes in the boys' game down in Presho 36-21. That game on KPLO 94.5 FM. Of course, Sully Buttes, the defending state champions, losing a couple of big guys from last year's team, but still looking to be a pretty solid squad. Lyman will continue to improve, I think, this year as well. Cooper Garnos back in the coaching ranks down there at Lyman High School as well. Other scores that we have for you, we mentioned Faulkton defeated Sunshine Bible Academy in a boys game 52-43. Had Harriet Selby in a girls game over Timber Lake tonight 54-35. I'm not sure, we might have that game on KMLO FM tonight, and that might be the first half of a doubleheader up there as well. Interesting score out west in the A and AA ranks. Belle Fourche leads Sturgis in a girls game 24-23. That's the same Sturgis team that defeated the Pierre Lady Governors 46-45 in their first game for Pierre of the season on Saturday night. We had them on River 92.7. We will have Pierre here on KGFX. The Lady Governors back out to the Northern Hills when they take on the Spearfish Spartans. That'll be Saturday afternoon, I should say, here on KGFX with a 4 o'clock Central Time tip-off. And we'll be on the air about 3:35 on Saturday. We do have more Stanley County basketball as well. Girls and boys together, and the Scotty Phillip Traveling Trophy up for grabs for both ends of a girls and boys doubleheader. 6:30 and 8 o'clock tip-offs this Thursday night. That'll be our next basketball coverage for you here on KGFX. And, of course, again, we always have, we will, as much as possible, have our YouTube live streams up and running. And again, you can see our games as well as hear them subscribing to the respective channels of Dakota Radio Group stations through youtube.com. Here we go, second half. The second half throw-in like the opening tip, sponsored by Lynn's Dakota Mart stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Lady Buffaloes have the first possession. Starters all out there, including a couple with 3 fouls. Cedar Scott will take a 3 from up top and unable to hit. Garnos comes down with it. Lyman moving from left to right here in the second half. Kate Garnos will put it in motion. Out there with Casey Wagner. Screen to free up Madeline Schindler, who is faced up by 2 players already with 3 fouls, and a whistle is called, and whistle is blown. And Cedar Scott making a beeline for the bench, going to pick up her 4th personal foul, sending Maddie Schindler to the free throw line to try to open the scoring here in the second half. It is Schindler, J.C. Miller, Kate Garnos, Casey Wagner, and Maddie Manger, the starting 5 out there for Lyman. Schindler hits the first of 2 free throws. She is our first double-digit scorer tonight. Stanley County with Cedar Scott being replaced now after that 4th foul picked up by Shaylee Topol. Topol on the floor in place of Scott. Schindler, by the way, hits the second free throw. Shaylee Topol, Tilly Stroop, Tatum Bush, Carly Leaf Green, and Jada Tibbs, the starting, the 5 on the floor now. Here's a pass that gets away in the backcourt, picked up by Manger, feeding to Garnos. The turnaround won't go. Kate gets it back from Casey Wagner, and now we've got a jump ball, and it stays with Lyman. So Stanley County struggling again in the against the press early here in the second half. And Lyman throws in from underneath. Lyman in black tonight. Now moving left to right or far court to near as you follow the action here. Screen and roll underneath. Lady Buffaloes have defended those well. They continue to block the shots of Maddie Schindler, but Kate Garnos comes up with a loose ball here, and she'll put it up and in for her first basket since the first quarter of play. And we've got a timeout called as Adam Dannenbring was sensing a little bit of trouble. Taylor Stroop got trapped into the backcourt, so a timeout called here with 6:46 to go, third period. Second half is just underway, and we're back in 30 seconds. Lyman leads the Lady Buffaloes 30-11 on KGFX.
Helverson Oil in Kennebec is proud to sponsor the Lyman County Raiders and wish them the best of luck in today's game. Helverson Oil is the place to stop for oil changes, tire and brake service, batteries, and hunting supplies. They have a full C-store with 24-hour pay at the pump and E85 gas and premium diesel fuel. Good luck to all teams participating, and go Raiders! From Judy and the staff at Helverson Oil in Kennebec.
Quick timeout called by the Lady Buffaloes. That's their third of the game. They'll be left with just two full timeouts left to use the rest of the way here. 30-11, Lyman leading by 19. Tatum Bush stepping inside the arc. Pulls up off the dribble, shot too strong, but it's kept alive by Tibbs. Bush now outside for three off the mark. That one looked like it was about ready to fall, but it bounds away, and it's run down by Maddie Menger. So the Lady Buffaloes come up empty again. Lyman back on the attack, 30-11 with the lead as we come down in the 6-minute mark of the third period. Hesitation and go, and Casey Wagner taking a screen from Schindler, using that to spring her to the rack, and she will score her 8th points of the 7th and 8th points of the night. Pass across the timeline. Stroop got it underneath the leaf green, back to Stroop. She'll leave it for Jada Tibbs. Now up to Topol. Now Tatum Bush. Tibbs again, back to Bush over on the right side. Lady Buffs with a bit of a patient possession here, but an impatient shot attempt by Taylor Stroop. Ball's run down by Manger, but she ends up on the end line. It will stay with Stanley County. And the shot clock has not been reset, so no control was gained by the Raiders, and there still are 7 seconds left on the shot clock here. Good shot by Tibbs off of the inbound. Stroop will feed Jada Tibbs, and that is a three ball up and good for the Lady Buffaloes. Second three of the night for Tibbs. 32-14 score updated. 5:15 were left to go in the third. Inside, Garnis makes a nice move to her left and then spins back down the left side of the lane. Shot is up and good. Kate Garnis now with 10 points. 4 here in the quarter. 20-point lead for the first time tonight for the Raiders. Stroop sets it up to the right side on the wing. It goes to Tibbs. Now they'll get it to Stroop, and they'll swing it over left side. Topol down to the corner. Bush. Pass is tipped, and a tip by Garnis taken away by, is that Wagner? Yes, it is, and unable to hit the layup. Tibbs with some pretty good defense, but Garnis is there to clean it up off the glass and put it back up and in. Lyman starting to create some opportunities here, but quickly up the floor. Stroop feeds underneath to Leaf Green. Carly Leaf Green up and off the glass and good for her third and fourth of the night. Back to a 20-point lead for Lyman, 36-16. About halfway through our third quarter. Dribble picked up by Wagner. Leaving it for Manger. She'll find a spot left side, too strong from 12 feet out. Rebound to Stroop. That one was online, but just too strong. Bush is open for three. Pushes it up there off the front of the rim, no good. Tibbs with an offensive board. Challenges Garnos, loses that battle, but keeps it alive. Bush from short range on the right side, unable to hit. Lyman quickly up the floor. One miss. Rebound back up and in is good for Casey Wagner. And we got another timeout called by the Lady Buffaloes here. 3:30 to go in the third quarter. 38-16 our score. Full timeout on the floor. We'll try another 60-second break. You're listening to girls basketball on KGFX.
Do not miss the Stanley County Booster Club Chili and Soup Cook-Off, taking place on January 29th during the Todd County doubleheader. Serving happens from 5 to 7 p.m. You pay just $5 for a bottomless bowl and will receive one vote for your favorite soup or chili. That's the Stanley County Booster Club Chili and Soup Cook-Off, January 29th at the Parkview Gym. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
The staff at Dakota Prairie Bank is proud to support our young athletes in tonight's game. This time of year isn't just busy for them, but moms and dads and other sports fans as well. So when you're on the go, Dakota Prairie Bank provides services that make banking simpler for you, like their online banking, checking your account, transferring money. It's quick, it's convenient, and a big help during this busy time of year. Dakota Prairie Bank, located in Fort Pierre, with branches in Presho and Draper, member FDIC.
Dakota Prairie Bank.
Back at Parkview Gym, playing through the third quarter, 3:30 to go. It's 38-16 Lyman. I was just thinking during the break, I mentioned in that second quarter a little bit about the JV game, which was won by Lyman. I didn't give you the result. Lyman won, I believe, by about 9 points. But it was a pretty good, pretty well-played game for both teams. Lady Buffaloes break the press out of the timeout. They work it inside. Tibbs with a tricky bounce pass to Leaf Green. Loose ball, but it's picked up by Tatum Bush, and Stanley County's still with it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Topol steps up, fires a three, but too many steps before the shot, and a traveling violation for the Lady Buffs, who had 15 giveaways in the first half. Only 2 so far here in the third quarter, though. 17 total. 38-16 with 3 minutes even to play in the third. Lyman with the lead, and we've got a double dribble. Casey Wagner with a moment of indecision here. That is just their 8th turnover and only their first for Lyman in the second half. Defense continues to trap well. Stroop got caught in no man's land, taken away by Garnos. She'll feed underneath. Wagner misses once, gets her own rebound, and is fouled on the way back up, so she'll go to the free throw line. Chance for 2 from there. Topol with her first personal on the night. First free throw for Casey this time is up and good. Second team foul for the Lady Buffs. Lyman hasn't been dinged up so far here in the third period. And the second free throw, no good, but Tatum Bush got a foot in the lane just a split second too early. And a lane violation is called. So another opportunity here for Casey Wagner, and you know what's going to happen here, and it does. Every time you miss a free throw and you get a second opportunity, it just seems like they go each and every time. Casey Wagner will take it. More trouble. Wagner knocked a pass away, but it's picked up by Topol, and now the Lady Buffaloes will get it across the time barrier. 2.5 minutes to play, 40-16. Topol, nice move on the drive, left side, too strong off the glass. Leaf Green on the backside will haul it in and put it back up and in. Carly Leaf Green has 6 points. It's 40-18. With that basket, the Lady Buffaloes have now scored more points tonight than they did in the entire game against White River in their opening game of the season on Saturday night. White River's a team, though, that has picked up a couple of players. They've got Todd County's best player. They've got one of Crow Creek's best girls players this year. And watch out for the Lady Tigers this season. This day and age of open enrollment, it's a beautiful thing. Carly Leaf Green with another blocked shot and a takeaway from Casey Wagner. Gets it to Stroop, who's moving quickly up the far side. Underneath, Tibbs, back out to Stroop. 3-ball no good, and it's knocked away off of Lyman. It's out of bounds, and Stanley County will get to keep it. Carly Leaf Green, I'm just going by recollection, but I think she's got at least 5 block shots in this game tonight. She's played a nice job underneath. Does have 3 fouls, but you can see what Stanley County has or what capabilities they have, especially underneath the basket. Tibbs will find a spot, 17 feet out, too strong, should have been outside the arc, misses everything here, and it's run down on the backside by a new player into the game, Briar Schweitzer for Lyman. Schweitzer joined a couple of teammates. Here's Tibbs stepping in front of the pass, takes it away, goes for the breakaway, and it's up and in. Nice move for Jada Tibbs. Defense turned into an easy layup. Those Tibbs girls, you go back to Bailey, Tibbs, they just have the quickness, and they can really cause some fits for teams defensively. Here's a nice step up and the shot down for Briar Schweitzer, her first bucket of the night. Updated score is 42-20, Raiders by 22. Topol has it top of the key. Might have been knocked away, but Tibbs is there, and she'll drive and pick up the foul and go to the free throw line. Jada Tibbs, with 8 points on the night, has a chance to get into double figures. Foul is called on Lindsay Theory, also into the game for the first time in the second half, her second personal of the night. Tibbs unable to get the first free throw to fall. Carly Leafgreen will catch a break for the last minute, 41.7 seconds to be exact, of the third period. Jordan Sosa, the freshman, back in for Stanley County. Tibbs' second free throw is good this time. She'll have 9. She'll check out. Cedar Scott, who's been in foul trouble since late in the first quarter, has 4 fouls, and she'll be back in to try to stay clean the rest of this third period. 42-21. Lyman doubling up the Lady Buffaloes. About 5 seconds difference between the shot clock and game clock. Nice pass underneath, but Theory too far under the basket. Tried a shot, but it came right back to her off the underside of the structure. Now Manger fires a 3 and hits. Maddie Manger with her second bomb of the night. She has 6 points. We've got a whistle, and we've got a carry of the basketball and a turnover by the Lady Buffs, giving Lyman the last 11 seconds to try to finish off this third quarter, leading 45-21. Casey Wagner will get the countdown from her fans and her bench. Over on the far side, long 3 is too strong by Schweitzer, and no rebound on the backside. And that'll bring an end to our third quarter of play, as Lyman, who led by 15 at the half, now leads by 24. On the Wagner Auto scoreboard, it's Lyman 45, Stanley County 21. Wagner Auto of Pierre, the one place to go. View all of their inventory online at wagnerauto.com. Back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute. You're listening to high school girls basketball on KGFX and drgnews.com.
Darren Boyle Sales is Central South Dakota's Bush Hog dealer, and right now you can take advantage of great deals on all Bush Hog inventory during my inventory reduction event. I have Bush Hog mowers on hand in sizes from 5 to 15 feet, Bush Hog zero-turn mowers, and the new Bush Hog hay rakes on hand as well. Everything is priced to move. Get a great year-end deal during the inventory reduction event at Darren Boyle Sales. Stop by the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Give me a call at 222-0317 or shop online anytime at darrenboylesales.com.
What does your morning sound like?
That's Daddy's little man.
Morning day. Grab your usual from Mickey D's.
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Get 2 delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches for just $4. At participating McDonald's cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Back we come to the fourth quarter as Stanley County in the opening possession, but a pass tipped, stolen, taken away by Kate Garnus, and she will take it the other way, all the way for 2. As Lyman, who outscored the Lady Buffaloes 19-10 in that third period, now leads 47-21. Jada Tibbs with a pull-up shot that's off the glass, rimming in and out, no good. Rebound is pulled down by J.C. Miller, and Lyman has it back on the offensive end again. Maddie Schindler, top of the key, finds Garnos over on the left side. Met by Stroop as Manger hits the deck underneath, back up and ready to go for more. Starting 5 back out there again for Lyman here. Casey Wagner will reset. 9 on the shot clock. Garnos feeds inside Schindler. Patient shot up and in. Nicely done. Actually, that was Garnos from Casey Wagner. As I take another look at that, Kate Garnos has opened things up a little bit here. Has 10 points in the second half and 16 in the game to lead all scorers. Stroop is trapped by Garnos, who gets the steal, feeds up ahead. Manger with the bucket and a foul that'll be called on Jada Tibbs. And the Lady Buffaloes at times have broken the press nicely, but at times they really continue to have their struggles. And here late in the game, as frustration builds, complacency also starts to build, it seems, a little bit. Manger free throw this time, no good. Tibbs with her third personal, but also has the rebound off of the miss. Kick out, 3-ball, no good by Scott. Tibbs on the back end, caught it on the fly, but couldn't put it back up and in. Actually, that was Stroop, who misses from point-blank range. Taken away by the Raiders. Wagner picks the dribble up, will find Garnos. 6:15 to go here in the ball game. Lyman comfortably in front by 30, 51-21. Lyman can certainly put some nice win strings together, it seems, this year. They continue to run pretty good offense. Another screen and roll, this time by Miller, who did not get a shot blocked, but might have been expecting the defense from Carly Leafgreen. Misses the shot. And then is called for a foul, trying to get the rebound back. Just her first personal. Team foul number 2 for Lyman. We haven't had a lot of whistles here in the second half as far as fouls go. Stroop across the timeline. Lady Buffs will set it up. Penetration, kick out. Tibbs to Tatum Bush, but Bush continues to struggle from long range. And we'll have a foul on the floor, and Cedar Scott will foul out of the basketball game. Scott just trying to keep a basketball alive, but off of the missed shot. After Schindler had the rebound, she'll check out, hit the first three-pointer of the night for Stanley County, but that is where her scoring will end, as she was in foul trouble most of the evening. Under 5 minutes to go in this one. Underneath, Garnos the lob to Wagner. That one is tipped, almost taken away, and I think Leafgreen may have gotten another hand on it. Maybe it was Tatum Bush. But a loose ball for Lyman. Shot attempt up, no good, and Casey Wagner will stop at the free throw line to shoot a pair. Shaylee Topol, second personal for the Lady Buffaloes, and they're 5th as a team. Wagner at the stripe is good on the first. Second one coming. As the biggest leads of the night continue to build for the Raiders. Here's a jump ball. Lady Buffs had it to start the quarter, and that coming off of the miss by Wagner as that one rimmed in and out. Lyman gets to keep it this time with the arrow. Inbound comes to the right, low block. Garnos had to go get it, and comes back to the rack, and really a good effort here in drawing the foul, as she really didn't have any chance in making that shot, because I could tell from the angle here that she was well behind the backboard. Foul here is on Stroop. That is just her first personal, but Kate Garnos, comfortable at the free throw line, hits the first of 2. Garnos had a good start, but went quiet the late first period. The entire second scoring-wise, but now with 17, make it 18 points. And she has 1/3 of her team's output, 54-21. Now that's 10 in a row again for the Raiders, who have had a few double-digit scoring runs. Lady Buffs having trouble getting it across the timeline here, and just as a 10-second violation was going to be called, Adam Dannenbring will have to spend his final timeout of the night. 4:26 to go, 54-21 Lyman. We're back in 60 seconds with more girls basketball on KGFX.
Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Up to 90% of colon cancer can be avoided with routine colonoscopies, yet 1/3 of adults skip their colonoscopy. We understand why you're whining, but colon prep is manageable. It's one evening followed by a simple procedure that could save your life. So what are you waiting for? Don't be whiny. Protect your hiney. Schedule a colonoscopy at avera.org/colon or call 888-422-1410.
Back at Parkview Gym, you're listening to high school girls basketball with the Lyman Raiders and Stanley County Lady Buffaloes on 1060 KGFX. Pierre Ford Pierre, member of the Dakota Radio Group, drgnews.com, and the live stream up and running through our YouTube channel, KGFX 1060. I'm Brian Oakland. Lyman's boys playing on KPLO FM tonight as they were trailing by 15 at the half, but they had quite a surge in the third quarter, have pulled back within one. Sully Buttes leads the Raiders by the score of 44-43. Good one going there on KPLO FM with Darren Boyle on that one. Foul on the drive here. Stanley County will pick up a third team foul by the Raiders, and the clock is continuously running. The lead has grown to over 30 points. Forgot to mention that. So despite a few whistles here, including a jump ball that'll keep things with Lyman, should mention a foul is called on Jezere Youthy. She has her first. The inbound to Bush, back underneath to Stroop, kicks out. Bush too strong from long range. Leaf Green had another opportunity but could not get it to go. And the Raiders will head back this direction. And a pull-up three, good for Maddie Manger, who has her third of the night. Manger with 9 points, 57-21. Lyman will win their second game of their first three, their second in a row to start the season. Stanley County will drop their second straight. The mercy rule in basketball, again, implemented a couple of years ago, is a nice turnaround shot, is up and in for Carly Leaf Green. That is her fourth field goal of the night. She has 8 points. Mercy rule is 30 points plus, or once it gets over 30 points, the lead in the second half, the clock will run continuously. If, in this case, should the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes get back within 15 points, then or get that deficit under 15, then it will go back to conventional timing. But unlike football, where a 35-point mercy rule and the clock will run continuously in the second half. Here's a foul on a baseline drive by Manger. Foul is called on Shaylee Topol, who picks up her third. But even though we have, clock has stopped to shoot free throws, I guess. 2:32 left to play. Manger's got her 10th point of the night down. Looking for number 11 as Adam Dannenbring will make wholesale changes for the Lady Buffaloes. Jordan Sosa is back in. She's been on the floor a few times tonight. Everybody else out there for the Lady Buffaloes is new. Manger's second free throw, no good. I think she crossed the line anyway. And we'll head the other way. Kylie Heason, a 5'8 junior, is in for the Lady Buffaloes. Point guard will be Kennedy Summers, a 5'5 junior. Carly O'Connor in for the second time tonight. She played the last half a minute or so of the first half. And also, Sosa's got it now. One other player out there, number 15, Liz Duffy, a 5'10 junior for the Lady Buffs. So here is Heason, top of the key, backing herself in, and she'll kick out. Three ball is up, no good. The miss for O'Connor. It was online, but a little bit strong, and we've got a foul on the rebound called against the Lady Buffs. Now Coach Kiefer will swap out all of his players, 5 for 5 as well. No foul called, as it turns out. It doesn't appear. They didn't update the board. 58-23, a 35-point Lyman lead. Elle Erickson, a 5'6 freshman, will drive left side. Lady Buffs had a rebound, but then lost it after a bump. Second chance up, no good by Bo. Pretty sounding flute. Lady Buffs had the rebound, now taken away by, Manger still out there, and now it'll be a foul here. Manger was a little out of control, was running right into Carly O'Connor, and O'Connor had good defense, but then kind of lost her position. Ends up being called for the reach here, and that'll send Manger back to the free throw line. Carly O'Connor's first personal of the night. So the Raiders went 4 for 4 instead of 5 for 5. Manger still in there, as we mentioned. First free throw, no good. L. Erickson, Bo, pretty sounding flute, who is a 5'6 freshman, is in. Alexis Ziegler, a 5'6 sophomore. And also Aaliyah Jones, a 5'7 freshman, in for Lyman. Second free throw good for Manger. Pretty sounding flute with a takeaway on the steal, but then taken right back by the Lady Buffs and given right back, as well as Manger gets another steal. She'll feed up the floor, and the basket is good for L. Erickson. As we reach the final minute of regulation here, 61-23 for the Lady Buffaloes, just like Saturday night's season opening loss against White River. A lot of the damage being done in the second half. As far as the scoring goes, now the clock is continually running as there are no free throws coming. Raiders unable to get one final player in there. Actually, it was Briar Schweitzer waiting to come in. We've got a foul called, and that's on the inbound, and that is an offensive foul. That'll be called against Jordan Sosa. So, 10 seconds left. We'll see if the Lyman second string can put a bucket down if it matters. Doesn't look like it does to Maddie Manger, and this one will come to an end. On the Wagner Auto scoreboard, our final score is Lyman 61, Stanley County 23, just 2 points in that fourth quarter for the Lady Buffaloes. As Lyman wins this one going away. They improved to 2-1 on the season. The Lady Buffaloes fall to 0-2. The score comes to you courtesy of Wagner Auto Company in Pierce, South Dakota's oldest family auto dealer. They are the one place to go. We'll take a 2-minute break. We hit the post game, coming up with a full recap, including the announcement of tonight's player of the game from Bauman Lumber. All that and more on the way in the post game. In 2 minutes, this is Lady Buffalo basketball with Lyman Lady Raiders on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
At Dakota Mac, we offer more than 30-year fixed-rate mortgages and access to working capital. We offer you our grit, our determination, and our expertise. If you're looking for more than ag business as usual, dig deeper with Dakota Mac. Visit dakotamac.com, equal housing lender.
First Dakota National Bank in Pierre and Blunt are your local Dakota Mac Ag real estate specialist. Are you ready to dig deeper? Give us a call today at 605-224-5817. Kennebec Telephone Company Incorporated and their divisions, Charlie's Welding and Auto Repair, KTC Construction, PowerCom TCS, and Napa of Chamberlain proudly support all area youth and their activities. Since 1908, Kennebec Telephone Company has provided the Lyman area with high-speed internet, local and long-distance telephone service, Real Choice TV, excavating, sprinkler systems, electrical work, computer repair, smart homes and farms, auto and welding repair, and Napa Auto Parts. Call our office and find out what we can do for you.
Good luck, Raiders, from BJ's Food Center in Kennebec. BJ's Food Center has everything a local grocery store has. Fresh produce, hand-cut meats, snacks, and weekly specials throughout the store. Plus a friendly staff to help you find whatever you're looking for. When you shop at BJ's, you leave feeling good about supporting a small-town business. BJ's Food Center is proud to support the Lyman Raiders in all their school activities.
Helverson Oil in Kennebec is proud to sponsor the Lyman County Raiders and wish them the best of luck in today's game. Helverson Oil is the place to stop for oil changes, tire and brake service, batteries, and hunting supplies. They have a full C-store with 24-hour pay at the pump and E85 gas and premium diesel fuel. Good luck to all teams participating, and go Raiders! From Judy and the staff at Helverson Oil in Kennebec.
Back at Parkview Gym, second game for the Lady Buffaloes, a little bit better than the first one as far as the score goes, but Lyman still able to win this one going away as a 16-8 first quarter score turned into a 15-point halftime lead for Lyman, 26-11. Pretty competitive third quarter of play, but still a 19-10 advantage for Lyman as they opened up a 45-21 lead. But that fourth quarter, again, it gets away from the Lady Buffaloes, especially 16-2 the advantage for the Raiders to win this one by 38 overall, 61-23 for Lyman, who shot very well tonight. Some high percentage efforts, but they also hit 4 of 7 from outside the arc tonight. 3 of those put down by Maddie Manger. They'll shoot 20 of 41 overall on the night, 11 of 21 in the second half. And Lyman does a good job getting to the free throw line. They hit 15 out of 25, 60% for that. I'm sure they'd like that a little bit higher, but getting there is half the battle, so to speak. And 4 double-figure scorers for the Raiders here tonight. They're led by Kate Garnos, who finishes with a game-high 18 points. Casey Wagner next in line with 13, and then 11 points apiece for Maddie Schindler and for Maddie Manger. 2s and 1s off the bench for Elle Erickson with 2, and also Briar Schweitzer with 2. Jezere Yuthi and J.C. Miller will score 1 point apiece. 61 on the board for Lyman, 23 for the Lady Buffaloes as they're led by Jada Tibbs with 9, Carly Leafgreen with 8, and then a 3-point play for Shaylee Topol and a 3-point basket for Cedar Scott is all the scoring for Stanley County, who overall shoots 5 of 19 on the floor in the second half, 9 out of 25 for the game on the floor, 3 for 15 unofficially from beyond the arc, 2 out of 4 is all they get from the free throw line. So the Lady Buffaloes, who in years past have been able, even if being maybe a little out of control on the drive, they've been able to get to the free throw line, but that didn't happen here tonight. It was Lyman getting to the line much, much more than Stanley County did in a 61-23 victory. Rebounding-wise, Lyman with a 22-17 advantage. Both teams with 8 offensive boards. And, again, Stanley County will struggle most of the season in taking care of the basketball, but I do like the total coming down in the second half. They'll finish with 24 turnovers. They had 15 in the first half, though. Lyman with a solid 10 turnover effort here tonight. Stanley County does have 7 total assists compared to 5 for the Raiders. Back to the rebounding, 22-17. Had some rebounding leaders, including Maddie Schindler for Lyman and J.C. Miller in the first half. Second half, looks like it was Casey Wagner coming in with a few rebounds. She'll finish with about 4 on the game. Miller maybe with 5. Schindler was a little bit quieter. She'll finish with 5 rebounds tonight as well. So nobody really standing out in the rebounding game for either team, although for Stanley County, it was Carly Leafgreen with a couple of rebounds in that second half. And Jada Tibbs running down a few rebounds as well among the leaders in that department. All in all, 61-23. No problem for the Raiders in the victory here tonight. We continue with our post game as we have a player of the game to announce. Player of the game, as always, sponsored by Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre, who will tell you who stood out above the rest after you hear this from Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials at affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
Bauman Lumber with the player of the game is on the downside of this one. Jada Tibbs with an active game, hit a couple of threes and finishes with a team-high 9 points for the Lady Buffaloes. Carly Leafgreen, some solid play, 8 points. But again, the defense inside, despite 3 fouls, which all came in the first half. Carly played a clean second half. And again, I'm thinking 5, maybe even 6 blocked shots, and a lot of them on attempted screen and rolls from, or screen and rolls, whatever you would call that, from the Raiders. So Carly Leafgreen, pretty good recognition when those types of plays are coming and really does a nice job in blocking the shot attempts. on this night. So a pretty good defensive game overall for Carly Leafgreen under the basket as well. We'll give her a pat on the back, so to speak, here tonight. But our player of the game will go to the winning side when you got 4 players in double figures. A lot of people contributing, but we'll go to the one who got Lyman off to a quick start and really spearheaded the movement in getting them to win this one going away in the second half. A game-high 18 points for Kate Garnus, the 5'8 junior, and she will be our Bauman Lumber player of the game. We'll get her a T-shirt noting her accomplishments from Bauman Lumber, and KGFX Sports as Lyman defeats Stanley County 61-23. This game, by the way, gets done a little early as the clock ran continuously through most of the fourth quarter, and we still have a good ball game on KPLO-FM. It was a 1-point game going to the fourth quarter as Lyman had pulled almost even with Sully Butte, led by 15 at the half. It was 44-43, and feel free to turn over to KPLO-FM and catch the conclusion of Darren Boyle's coverage of that one. In the meantime, we mentioned the upcoming schedules for Lyman. They've got a couple of double headers, boys and girls together on Friday are out at Rapid City Christian, and then back home on Saturday, they'll take on Bennett County, an earlier start time in the afternoon, I believe, on that one. And then Lyman and Stanley County boys get together next Friday of next week, but no coverage on that on Dakota Radio Group stations. Should be a good ball game there. Stanley County has a couple of doubleheaders coming up this weekend yet. The rest of this week and into next as well. Boys and girls together, we'll get our first look at the Buffalo boys, our second look at the Lady Buffs on Thursday night with the Scotty Phillip Traveling Trophy up for grabs as it is Stanley County at Phillip on Thursday night. That'll be here on KGFX, but 1 week from tonight when the Buffs and Lady Buffs host Jones County, those 2 games will be heard on KPLO-FM, so keep that in mind. And, of course, several games of the Lady Buffaloes and the Buffs throughout the season will be heard on our Dakota Radio Group stations, as they will, of course, for Lyman, mostly on KPLO-FM. 61-23, the final here. By the way, one other note on we mentioned earlier, later in the week on Saturday, an afternoon game with our first look at the Pier Lady Governors as well, coming here on KGFX as they take on the Spearfish Spartans out in the Northern Hills, 4 o'clock, the opening tip on that one. I want to thank our technical director, Jeff Duncan, for running the show back in studio, and thanks to our sponsors also for making this thing a possibility as well. We remind you on your way home, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety says, don't veer for deer, slow down, stay alert. And stay careful as well if you are a Lyman fan making the trip back down south. Of course, we had a slippery parking lot here at Parkview Gym before the ball game, and hopefully all the moisture that we got before the game isn't freezing, but it could very well be a little bit tricky running back down Highway 83. So take your time as you head back home. SafeTravelUSA.com does have a little bit of a slippery condition on Highway 83, frost, ice, and slippery. So take your time, and thanks for joining us here this evening. Our coverage of high school girls basketball on KGFX has been sponsored by Kennebec Telephone, BJ's Food Center, Halverson Oil, and Dakota Prairie Bank, by Thrivent Financial of Chamberlain and Darren Boyle's Sales in Fort Pierre. Coverage of the Buffs and Lady Buffs are also sponsored in part by Bottom Line Welding, Bank West, Fisher Rounds and Associates, Insurance and Real Estate, by Oahe Federal Credit Union, McDonald's, First Dakota National Bank, Avera St. Mary's Hospital, and the Stanley County Booster Club. And our game brought to you within the broadcast by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the Boyd Consemius Agency, Teton River Traders Gun Shop, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Consumer Protection Division, Lynn's Dakota Mart, CHS Midwest Cooperatives, Bauman Lumber, and Wagner Auto in Your one place to go. Your final Wagner Auto scoreboard: the Lyman Lady Raiders defeat the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes 61-23. We'll see you again for doubleheader ball on Thursday night, Stanley County at Phillip. Until then, have a great Tuesday evening. You've been listening to coverage of the Buffaloes and Lady Buffs on 1060 KGFX and DRGnews.com.